Hey guys, this video I wanted to talk about myself and the little bit of coding background that I've had. So, back when RuneScape was a really big thing, we had a client called SwiftSwitch, and with that we had MIRC or IRC, Internet Relay Chat, where you could connect to servers and enter chat rooms and talk to other people. Well, with that came along MIRC, which was basically it was like a bot application that you could enter into the IRC channels, the internet relay chats, and we could program those bots to do different functions, look up stuff, could build games through it, and I'm pretty sure it was built with JavaScript. The code you would run it on would be JavaScript, I'm pretty sure. And I did that for about 3 months off and on, but that was back in like 2008, 2009. I mean, I still remembered like the basic syntax, the very little that I retained over the months or the years that came after that. But then I was thinking one day, I was like, because I'm in a dead end job now, didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I spend a lot of time on the computer, and I thought back to those days, and I'm like, why don't I look up what kind of jobs are in web development, anything to do with JavaScript, because that's the only thing I knew. So that's what brought me to Codecademy. And I saw they had JavaScript and very little things that I still recognized. That's where I started. So yeah, I had a little information that I still knew, and if you go to the catalog, I think it is. This is basically where I started, because I didn't know what applications were for what, basically what I was doing. I had no idea. Like, I was learning all over again. And so, I started with Codecademy. As you can see here, I started with Python, I believe, because I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I started with that, got 45% through, and I think after that, started doing Java. Then after Java, I started going to YouTube trying to figure out what these languages are used for in day-to-day jobs. So I learned CSS is cascading style sheets. It's used to make the HTML look pretty. And HTML, hypertext markup language, is basically the base layout of a website. And it goes hand in hand with CSS. This is the text, the paragraphs, the links, and all that, and the CSS ties in to make it look prettier. Then you have JavaScript, which I didn't do much on here. I did a majority of that on freeCodeCamp, but I finished the HTML and almost finished the CSS. So I wanted to go back through here and show a little bit of what it's like. I really liked Codecademy. There's one thing I didn't like, and I'll show you guys right here. I want to make a series about trying to get a front-end certificate on freeCodeCamp, but I wanted to start out with Codecademy, and I mean, it is a great resource, and it definitely helps you learn, but it doesn't really test your knowledge as hard as it should. And I'll show you right here. The code editor to the right, type your name in between the H1 tags, and press run. So I'll type Jeremy, run, shows Jeremy. H1s are basically header tags, that's what the H stands for. 1 being the biggest text. So if we switch that to 6, that would be the smallest. So it would make it smaller. So H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest. So this is the HTML anatomy. Hello world. We'll hit next. Alright, so here we have the body tag. So add a body to your web page using the body element. So we'll do body, then close it off with body. Alright, run. Add the following code between your openings and closing tags. See, this is one of the things that I didn't like, is that you can basically copy and paste it and, There it is, you passed. On to the next sign. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know, I feel like it wasn't really that challenging. And also, this is another thing that I didn't like, say, if you were stuck on something, like not this, because this is pretty easy, but if you were stuck on something and you kept hitting run, you kept getting the error saying, did you do what was asked of you? And it just said no. Then you could just hit solution. If you're stuck, you could say, just give me the solution to this exercise. And then you can continue on. But with that, it's like, I didn't really like that because myself as a person, when I get frustrated, I'm like, just give me the answers now. So if I don't have that available, then I can actually, you know, continue on and make me think of what to do. So I figured we'd continue on and show a little bit about this. So now that you know how to structure HTML elements, we'll spend the rest of the lesson building an informational website using some of the most common HTML elements. Below the H3 heading that says features, add an H2 heading that says habitat. So we go below here, H2, but we'll close it off. Always has a / to close it off. Hit run. There's that. Below the habitat heading, add an H3 heading that says countries with large brown bear populations. So we can just copy this, then add an H3, copy paste, H3, run it. On the next line, add one more H3 heading. Copy that. I mean, this is basically what it is. It's like you copy and paste a lot of it. Finally, on the next line, add an H2 heading. So, I mean, that's what I didn't really like about Codecademy. Besides that, I think it's an excellent resource to use to learn. I mean, it's definitely a better starting point than if you didn't know where to start. So, that's Codecademy. And that's the thing I didn't like about it, is that, you can just click run, run, run. If you didn't get it, you can just hit solution. No, I'm impatient. Give me the solution. Then you can just, continue on. So that's the one thing I didn't like, to each their own. But I didn't feel like, I feel like having that option didn't really enforce the idea of, hey, you have to solve this to pass. So that's Codecademy. But now there's freeCodeCamp, which I really liked a good bit, and as you can tell, I did a lot more here. Not all of it, because I eventually ventured out on my own and started doing my own thing, but as it stands right now, I did about 10 hours a day of a month and 2 weeks straight of coding, and then, I don't know why, but I guess I burned out, and then quit for, I think it's been about 2 months now, but I'm wanting to get back into it, and I feel like I haven't forgotten a whole lot, so I'd like to make a series on this and relearn everything I forgot, help people, show people the different resources we have that we can learn. So we see they have a front-end development certification, an HTML and CSS course. It was 5 hours, and I did, a majority of it. And then down here, I started with the basic JavaScript, 10 hours, and I did some of that. But the front-end development certification is what I would really like to make a series on and to eventually complete. Because I feel like that would be, they have different sections, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, different libraries you can use, object-oriented, functional programming, algorithms, which I hear are a bitch, but I feel like that would be fun to do. I feel like I would choose freeCodeCamp over Codecademy because of that, but I mean, it's to each their own. I'm just here to help people know what all the resources are, or a majority, or the resources that a lot of people use. So, I'll just go ahead and do a few freeCodeCamp tutorials here. I'd eventually like to make a series out of it, so I guess we'll see how that goes. So, hello world, run tests, submit and go to next challenge. So create an H2 element, that's the header 2 element. Make sure it has the closing tag. You always, not every tag, but like the headers, the bodies, the paragraph tags, they always need to have a closing tag, and to close it is to put a / in front of the header 2 or the paragraph or whichever ones you're using. But the opening tags do not need the /. / is only to close it. So your H2 element should have the text cat photo app. Cat photo app. Run tests. Submit. So create a paragraph element. Then we will say hello paragraph. Close it. And these are basically telling you what these are for, what they mean, how to close them, and all of that. And these are just some of the many tags that are in HTML. So commenting is a way that you can leave comments within your code without affecting the code itself. Commenting is also a convenient way to make code inactive without having to delete it entirely. Start a comment with a that, end a comment, uncomment your H1, H2, and paragraph elements. Alright. So all we do is delete that. Run tests. And now it's not uncommented, and you can see it on the phone app over here. So comment out your H1 element. Alright, it's already blocked out. So we want to uncomment that and comment out the paragraph tag. Alright, and then just leave the cat photo app uncommented, so that's the only thing that's visible on there. So these are I showed you a few of the freeCodeCamp and the Codecademy ones, and my reasoning for liking freeCodeCamp, but I'm not saying, freeCodeCamp's the way to go. Everyone has their own likes, dislikes, and everything, and I just felt like listing mine, in case anyone else felt like that. So, I'll finish a few of this here to get to about 20-minute video. I figured, this information will help you to decide what you would like, and these are completely free, the lessons I've been doing, so anyone can do them. Alright, so your paragraph element should contain the first few words of the provided kitty ipsum text. Alright, so copy that, replace the text inside the paragraph element, run that. Alright. Delete the H1 element. Some of these are pretty simple, but I mean, this is basic HTML. I mean, it just helps you learn what to do. Now, I'm not reading all of this because, I still remember what these are for. Alright, so now we're doing some inline CSS, which, so h2 style equals color red. Pretty sure that's it. Alright, so that basically turns, inline CSS means you can turn one line, you can select the line that you want, which you can also do with the CSS that we'll go over eventually, but inline CSS, you can target one line. And what we did there was target the cat photo app text to turn it red. Meanwhile, the lorem ipsum stays black. Oh, go to my next step. I don't know what that was. Challenge. Remove the style attribute from your h2 element. So the style attribute is all of this. Remove that. Your h2 element should be blue. Alright, so style equals color blue. That turns the cat photo app blue. So style is basically saying what you want to change about the style, then equals parentheses, and we're changing the color to blue. Meanwhile, the rest of it stays black because we're just using that to target the cat photo app text. I'm pretty sure that's it. No? Oh, is this the CSS one? Oh, we're doing CS. Oh, okay. What I did wrong. So it said to remove this. Alright. So remove the style attribute. So that's checked off. Then your h2 element should be blue. So then we'll go back up here. So these are style tags. Then we'll, under the style tag, we will target the h2 color. What color did it say? Be blue. Then, no, you put that inside. Then you close the style tag with an upward slash. Run tests. Yep, that's it. Usually the CSS and HTML are in different files, which maybe freeCodeCamp will show later on down the path, I'm not sure. But usually inline CSS is usually frowned upon because it bogs up the HTML files. Alright, so your H2 element should be red, so shit. We will change the blue to red. That changes that. Your H2 element should have the class red text. Okay, so we need to declare a red text class. Do not use inline style declarations. Okay, so some of their information like kind of confuses me sometimes. I don't really know what it's asking for. I'm thinking so it says not to do that. Do class equals red text. Your style sheet should declare a red text class and have its color set to red. Alright, so we will go here, red text, then color red. Believe that's it. Oh. Hold on, maybe this will do it. Let me get a hint. Oh, so it's saying to change that. Alright. Alright, but I'm stuck here. But I just wanted to go over these videos, show you what freeCodeCamp has to offer, what Codecademy has to offer, the ups and downs of both of them. And with freeCodeCamp, it's basically, it gives you a path to follow. And it's not just, oh, once you finish HTML, you know, you're done. That's all there is to learn. No, you would take HTML, CSS, you would learn responsive design with Bootstrap, use different libraries and frameworks, jQuery. So it's not just over once you just learn that, you'll tie it all in together, whereas with Codecademy, it's once you finish that lesson, oh, you're on your own, you know, go do whatever, while freeCodeCamp gives you a path to follow. So I'm hoping that will help anyone if they're stuck on what to learn, where to go. But that's what I'm here for. Alright, thanks guys.